This is Throttle Dream Build 10. Our subscriber Jeremy is about to have his Mustang Mach-1 transformed today. We have a ton of awesome parts for this build, so let me show you what we have. We have a complete interior upgrade, and we have a ton of WD-40 brand products to help us complete this massive build. We have a Wilwood big brake kit, a Vortex supercharger, new headlights and taillights, a complete suspension overhaul, MagnaFlow exhaust system, and new wheels and tires. A new Ford Azura blue paint job, and we have a ton more. This Mustang is about to undergo an incredible transformation, but before we dive into the build, I want to show you guys how bad this car was before it got a fresh coat of paint. When this car arrived, it was pretty rough. Parts were broken, the paint was nowhere near perfect, had some minor dents, and overall just not in great shape. We sent the car over to Torrey Pines Collision to get a fresh coat of Azura blue, and let me tell you, the car looks like it's fresh off the showroom floor. Now it's time for us to give this car the transformation it deserves.
Okay, I was not expecting, I've never revved this thing before. That's wild. And the fact that we're gonna put more power, it's gonna sound better than this. Woo! All
right, let's see what we're working with here, brother. You even know what that is, Ricky?
It's a V8 32 valve Mustang engine.
It's not wrong, yeah. Dual overhead cams for 2003 and aluminum block V8. This is like the Coyote before there was a Coyote. Really cool engine, but we got a lot of work to do. This engine needs a lot of love. Multiple oil leaks need to be fixed, and this engine needs a good going through before we try and shove some boost in it. I need to make sure this motor is healthy enough to be supercharged and is going to be reliable, as well as getting it cleaned up and looking like a proper show car. When we're done, this motor is going to look as mean as it sounds. Where's all the coolant? There's supposed to be coolant in that. Nothing came out. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Hold on, take this one out. Oh yeah.
Where's all the coolant? There's all the coolant. Oh yeah. There we go. Found all the coolant. All right, let's keep jamming. The first set of modifications going on the Mach-1 is going to be a tubular subframe. Now, this is part of QA1 Stage 3 handling package for this car. It is control arms, it is subframes, it is sway bars across the entire car, front and rear. This is going to completely change how this thing feels. We're ready to start tearing the suspension apart. Now, we're going to be using a product we all know and love here. This is WD-40 Specialist Penetrant Easy Reach. This is going to allow us to get all of these bolts off very nicely. This thing is kind of rusty. We don't want to break any of the bolts or damage them because we need to reuse a lot of them. And this Easy Reach straw is going to help us get to a lot of nice little trick places that I can't. So these subframe bolts, not only are they kind of buried back up here, but I also have them at the top as well. So I'm going to make a little arc with that guy, and we're going to soak them up here like that. And this is going to allow us to get into places we're not going to be able to normally reach. And if you're trying to reach an easily accessible spot, you can flip the straw down and use the normal spray feature just to get everything covered. The entire front suspension is about to come out, and here's how this is going to happen. First, we're going to remove the brake calipers, followed by the brake rotors. Wheel speed sensors will come out so they don't get damaged, tire rods will pop out, and the front sway bar can be removed. Both front shocks, followed by both front spindles, then the lower control arms. Then we'll remove the steering rack, and then finally the whole front subframe can come out of the car. So we've got a bunch of work to do on the motor before we put the new subframe in. We're going to knock out the oil pan gasket because it is leaking, and we have a new set of exhaust manifolds going on, so we're going to get all of this factory stuff off. Bro, what'd you do? I just went to pull it off and it just shattered.
Oh
it just shattered.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before either. That's wild. That's rough. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. We have a ton of work to do still on Throttle Dream Build 10, but I want to let you guys know if you're seeing this, this is your chance to get your car submitted and built here in the Throttle Garage with a massive pile of parts. Submissions for Dream Build 11 are open right now, so head over to throtl.com, join VIP, go to submissions page, get your car entered. There's also a ton of perks to joining VIP. Additional sweepstakes entries, you name it, it's there. This is your opportunity, so let's get back to Dream Build 10. All right, the pulley's finally off. That was absolutely insane. If you were installing a crank pulley, please do not ever RTV it to the crankshaft. Now that that headache is over, I'm gonna replace the spark plugs with a fresh set that are gapped for some boost to keep this engine safe and install a clean, freshly painted timing cover and a brand new gasket to stop the leak. Time for a new oil pan gasket, baby. Come on, let's get this thing back together. Our maintenance is completed. New valve cover gaskets, timing cover, and oil pan gaskets. The long block is looking insane. Now is the fun part where we get to throw the headers and the new subframe on. Let's keep jamming. There's a little hot rod tip here, brother. Put a little bit of anti-seize around the gaskets for the exhaust. Helps it seal up really nice. Next up is the new QA1 front subframe, and we're starting with new engine mount brackets. This subframe kit is engine swap friendly, and they make mounting brackets for all sorts of engine swaps, such as Coyote and LS. These mount brackets are for the 4.6 that's already in the car, allowing us to run OEM engine mounts, meaning we get OEM engine feel with a proper racing suspension kit. What a sick freaking subframe setup.
Looks so good, huh?
Tubular, everything looks good.
Look at this, just compare that.
Fits right
that
on.
crap, oh rusty and disgusting, to this beautiful masterpiece.
And this uses OEM engine mounts, which is really nice. We're gonna leave the subframe loose for now and begin pulling the exhaust off so we can drop the transmission and start installing the new clutch. My boy.
X pipe out.
Ah, yeah, my boy. Big girl. Next up for the Mustang, we have a McLeod clutch kit. Now we're increasing the power of this Mustang substantially by adding a Vortex supercharger. We need a clutch kit that can handle the power and handle the torque without slipping, and this is gonna do the job perfectly. This is also a sprung clutch kit. We've got a new lightweight flywheel. This is gonna improve the throttle response and make this engine extremely rev happy with the new supercharger. With the new throwout bearing installed and greased up, Ricky and I can get the transmission back in the car, then Mickey and Ricky can align the QA1 subframe and finally get everything bolted down and tight.
The engine is aligned and square. The transmission is bolted in. Everything's tightened up. Now it's time to get the steering rack in and we can start on the arms. What do we got next, Ricky?
Oh, we got a few AR. Where's the other one? Oh, right there.
So you got caster camber adjustment on the bottom
Yep.
mounts here, so this can be pivoted.
Yeah.
We also have a massive sway bar here and a
I know,
lot of
this is-
instruction manuals and bolts. So we're just going to put this thing on a tripod and get to sticking parts on.
Well, let's start with yours.
QA1, baby, sway bar is going in.
Star Trek initiated.
The QA1 coilovers are pretty simple to assemble. First, we slide the sleeves onto the shock, then slip the spring over it. Add the top and bottom spring seats, make sure everything sits right, and then tighten them up and install them. All right, Ricky's been cleaning up the front wheel wells. We've got the front suspension buttoned up, and now it's time to move on to our Willwood big brake kit. We've got a front and rear kit for this car, and as always, it's a two-piece rotor, so we've got to build those on the table here before we put them on the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. The reason we use these Willwood two-piece brake rotors are due to the fact that they are lighter and handle heat better than any other one-piece rotor on the market. That means better performance, less chance of warping, and longer life, especially when driving hard or hitting the track.
All right, the front suspension and the front brakes are completed. As you can see, everything looks beautiful. It's all blacked out too. A little bit of red. Everything looks gorgeous. Now it's time for us to move to the back. I'm gonna start taking the brakes off because that is gonna open up this area a little bit more and it's gonna give us more space for us to remove this rear arm. This one right here. We have this one out. We're gonna put the new one in now that we understand how everything works, and then we'll replace this little arm right here.
All right, the old clapped out parts are out of the Mustang, and now we're gonna go in with this beautiful QA1 coilover, which is gonna bolt right into our stock chassis. I got Ricky up top here. He's gonna go ahead and put this on. I'm gonna feed the bottom one through, and we'll just have to go through and torque everything down.
The rear end is completed. We have the rear coilover suspension. Rear brakes are gonna go on right now. But man, everything is looking so awesome, so great. Can't wait to see it on the floor and see how slam it is because we had to raise this thing, the diff way higher because the suspension is that much lower. So this thing is gonna be slammed. So let's get to the brakes.
The wheelwoods on the back are completely done, and there's one final touch to get this suspension and brake system dialed in completely, and that is a rear sway bar by QA1. This car did not have a rear sway bar on it at all, so this is going to be a huge handling improvement. And then once that's installed, we're done with suspension and brakes, and we can keep moving on with the engine. Next up for the Mach 1, we're going to be installing a Carter's Customs front lip. Now we're doing side skirts and a rear diffuser on the car. We did them on our Fox body Mustang and everybody loves how they look. This is going to bring a lot of cool aerodynamics to the car. Very excited. Let's get this on the front bumper. Carter's Customs front lip is installed and it looks sick. We're going to finalize the bumper with a new set of fog lights. Let's get these things in, baby.
Up next for our Dream Build 10 Mustang, we have a few more goodies. As you can see here, you can see the old tail lights and they just look kind of stock. We have this OEM replacement, but they're actually smoked, so it's gonna look way better with this beautiful blue that we have right here. We also have the side markers in LED, which we're gonna be replacing. So that's gonna be really cool. And to top it all off, we have a beautiful spoiler lip that is gonna be going in this. And that actually, as you can see, you won't be able to use the tail light. And then actually takes the place of this, so this tail light has to come off in order for the spoiler to be able to be bolted in here. And then we'll add 2 more holes on it to hold it in place, some 3M tape to seal it from the elements, the weather, and then it'll be all set. So let's get to work. All right, spoiler's done. It looks amazing. It's like a Cobra style, I'm assuming. And from here, we're gonna start doing the tail lights.
It's time to move on to the side skirts. Check this out right here, brother. You ready for this? Woo! Dream Build 10, baby! That's sick, huh? Let's get these things on. That's it, brother. Side skirts are in. That's perfect. Dream Build 10 logo right there. You can't even see that, huh? Because you're short.
No.
It looks good. Looks really good.
Now,
before we install the exhaust system, we're gonna be installing this. This is a Beachworks 340 liter per hour fuel pump. Because we're supercharging this car, we need a lot more fuel flow than the factory pump can actually produce. So we're gonna be installing this guy right here. Now, this is a Mustang. This is much like the Fox body where we do have to drop the tank completely out. Luckily, it's a pretty straightforward process. So let's get it out. Let's get this boy in. All right, that looks factory to me. That's a little tiny guy.
Yeah,
it's got no
found
part
that.
number on it or anything. So I'm guessing this is just an OEM drop-in, which means this fuel pump is probably not going to be enough for our supercharger. So Dietrich's time, baby, let's go. This pump is huge compared to the factory pump, and Dietrich's even fitted the same electrical plug on their pump, so the wiring is plug and play, making this pump a super straightforward install. This allowed us to get this new fuel pump installed in about 15 minutes, and now we're ready to get the fuel tank back in the car and move on to the new exhaust. Next up, it is time for a MagnaFlow CAPAC exhaust system. This is the MagnaPack system. So we have two flow-through mufflers. This is going to give us a lot of really good V8 noises, while it's going to not drone a ton, which is awesome. So this is a bolt-on kit for this Mustang. We already have the loop over the rear end. We've got a set of beautiful tips. These are sick. These are going to be sticking out of the rear bumper. We've got a diffuser going on, so it's going to look really nice. And it's time to get this on the car. So let's get started. I cannot wait to hear this thing up on the pipe making power, because this MagnaFlow system is gonna sound absolutely wild. Now it's time for our Carter's Customs rear diffuser. I already bolted our fins to the base plate. Now it's time to get this thing bolted underneath the car. You ready, Ricky?
Yeah, let's get it. Look. Oh crap, I need a battery. Really nice. Looks so new. Like, just look at it. Everything looks new. The brake, the suspension, the arms, the exhaust, the tips, the tail lights, the side markers, the diffuser, everything. The spoiler, the paint job. Come on. This is a brand new car, man. Finish out the front end. We have some brand new Raxium headlights to replace the ones that we have now. We also have a brand new cowl for the windshield. We have a front grille and the emblem. And this is going to tie it up with a brand new bumper that we have for the front end. Everything's going to look epic. Let's get started by removing the headlights. Just like that, they both are out in less than a minute. As you can see, I put the headlights out and the side markers. One of them was amber and the other one was clear. So I ended up pulling it out, and as you can see, it has a lot of corrosion in there and inside. So the contacts inside are not gonna be very good. So of course, WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner, and this thing is exactly what this is for. We're gonna spray it inside, and it's gonna clean everything for us, and it's gonna make everything work perfect. Now we can put our brand new bulb in here and put it back in the housing. I say both headlights done. Let's get started with the grill. Headlights are on, grill and emblem are on. The last piece of the front end is gonna be this bumper, so let's get it on.
This car looks so freaking good. The Carter's Custom lip, the new headlights, the fog lights in there. There was nothing down here before. This car looks insane.
It's one more piece to install, which is the windshield cowl, so let's get that on.
Wheels and tires up next. We've got a Weld Solana. I love the two-tone look of this. We're running an 18x11 in the back, and we're running an 18.9.5 in the front. We've got a sick tire combo on this thing because it's gonna be making about 500 horsepower. We've got a Mickey Thompson ET Street S and a Falcon RT660 in the front. Let's get these things mounted.
right, that's it. The wheels are on, the car's lowered. Now we're gonna push it off the ramps and keep going with the build.
Fresh wheels and new suspension are on, and this Mustang looks incredible on the ground, but we still have a lot of suspension adjustments to make. But before we do that, we're gonna address the interior.
The next step for the Dream Build 10 Mustang is gonna be the interior. We're gonna transform it and it's gonna look insane. So let's get started by removing all the old stuff.
Before the rest of the new interior goes in, I need Ricky to handle a battery relocation kit. The Vortex supercharger uses a liquid to air intercooling system, and the coolant tank for the intercooler system goes in the factory battery spot. Moving the battery to the rear of the trunk will also keep it away from the hot engine bay and out of the elements, keeping the battery safer for longer.
Now we're gonna start with the short shifter from MGW and some interior pieces from Ford so we can make this thing look brand new again, so let's get started. All right, now that we have the e-brake handle boot installed, the next step is going to be the short shifter, because from here, we're going to do the console that goes in the middle. Bada bing, bada boom. Feels really short and notchy.
Short shifter, that's crazy.
That thing clicked in there. Brand new clips, brand new panels. Looks, oh my God, it looks so good. Last piece of the trim, as you can see, this panel right here is broken. So we have a brand new replacement part to replace it with, so let's get it done. That's it, all done. Let's keep going. Check out the rear seats for our Mustang. They're gonna match our front seats, and these seat covers are from Acme Auto, and we're gonna put them on the car right now so you can see how beautiful they look. Moving on to my favorite part of the interior is going to be these LG1 Corbeau seats. These things look amazing. They're lightweight and they're very, very comfortable. We also have brand new railings for it. We're going to put everything together, throw it in the car, and show you what it looks like.
Is that the lightest seat you've ever thrown in a car?
Dude, they're very light. The ones that I took off, they were extremely heavy. This is really nice. This is sick. This is it, baby. Yo, you done? I want to drive it. This is very comfortable. I like how it hugs me, because I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. But oh, he kind of jumped a little. Next step for the Mustang, we are going to be taking the stock OEM wheel and replacing it with this carbon fiber one from ACA Auto Wheel. First step, we got to take the two side bolts off. I'm going to do it with this. This is the airbag. We're going to grab this. We're going to go to Quinn's office chair. We're going to install it in there. When he sits down tomorrow to clock in, this thing's going to blow up. That's it, steering wheel out. Let's get the carbon fiber one in.
It is time to add some serious power to Dream Build 10. This is a tuner kit by Vortec for the Mach 1 Mustang. This is gonna bring our 305 horsepower pony car up to 460 horsepower. This uses a centrifugal style blower. This is the first time we're doing a centrifugal supercharger in the house, and it looks like a turbo, but it's still belt driven. It keeps it very compact, and this thing is extremely lightweight, which is really cool. Ricky and I have dropped a lot of root style blowers on. It usually takes 3 people to get them in the car and bolt it down. You could literally hold this with one hand. So the compact power you get out of this is absolutely insane, and it sounds awesome. This kit is a full bolt-on kit to the Mustang, and it is intercooled. We have a liquid to air intercooler right here. So again, very compact. This thing is gonna look very tidy in the engine bay. Of course, the 4.6 liter V8 in that Mustang is a big freaking engine. So keeping everything in front of it's gonna make it a lot nicer. We can keep the stock hood, we can keep the Mach 1 hood scoop, and get the power we're after. So we're gonna start with the pulley kits. We've got brackets, pulleys, all the bolts to get this thing on, and then we'll get the blower on. So let's get started. Next up, it is time for the Schwartz fuel injectors, boy.
Bada bing, bada boom.
How's it look? What's it like? What are you gonna do?
So it looks terrible, obviously. I'm gonna take this sensor off, and then I'm gonna clean this up, and then I'm gonna reshoot it black so it can look a lot better than what it looks now. It does not look very good.
So now we can access our fuel injectors with that upper manifold off. We're gonna get that thing cleaned up and looking shiny and get these fuel injectors in. Let's get them out. Here's the old crusty injector. Here's the new injector. One of my favorite parts about this is this injector kit is plug and play for this car. So the connectors are exactly the same. The injector height is exactly the same. So we can just throw these things in. They're much better, higher performing injector. And the most critical part is these things are newer. This is from 2003. Not only is the injector old, but the injector technology is old. And this is from today. This is a new injector. Even though it looks very similar, it's got new injector technology. This is much more efficient and better. So let's get this thing in. All right, it is time for a cooling system. We got Mishimoto Baby X-Line full aluminum radiator with end tanks. This is a bolt-in kit for this car. This thing's gonna fit perfectly. Also, the factory fan on this thing was destroyed and making horrible noises, so we're gonna put a new fan in with it. Let's get it together. The cooling system for the engine is completely back together, and I wanted to get this in because now we get to start mounting our heat exchanger and our water pump for the supercharger cooling system because it uses a completely separate system. So Ricky made a mount for our tank, which goes right here. So that's where the water enters the coolant system for the supercharger. We had to relocate the battery. From there, we're gonna run lines to our heat exchanger and our water pump, and those are gonna go to the after cooler on the supercharger. And then it's intake, put this stuff back together, and then tune it, and we're done. So we're actually on the home stretch here. We're gonna get these two bolted down and start running lines. The engine on the Mach 1 is completely back together to the point where we can fire this thing up. We're gonna add engine oil, prime it, install a tune, and get this thing running under its own power. Let's keep going. Up next, we've got a Diablo Sport Trinity EX. This is gonna handle the tuning for the Mustang. Of course, we just supercharged it. There are a lot of different parameters on this engine now that it's forced induction. So we've got a Diablo Sport tune on here that's gonna allow us to start and run this thing, get this thing dialed in, making 480 horsepower. This is our little secret right here. Let's get our tune on. We're gonna hit him right here with the tuning. Ooh, your vehicle has been successfully tuned, brother. Now that this thing's dialed in, we're gonna fire it up, get it running under its own power. First time since the Vortec install, and we got a new MagnaFlow exhaust on it, so it should sound pretty nice. It sounds sick though, dude. Oh my God. You can hear it whining from in the driver's seat. I wanna let it run. I'm gonna come through and just check everything, make sure that's not doing anything weird or anything that it's not supposed to do, because if it does, I wanna catch it right now. This thing is running great, dude. Listen to that. You can hear it. That's so sick. This Mustang is running extremely well. Now the reason I shut it off is because we don't have any coolant in the engine yet, and the reason it's smoking is because we did so much work. We've got new exhaust manifold gaskets on there. I like to put a little bit of anti-seize. It helps the new gasket seal up really nice, and that's on every single mating surface on the entire exhaust system. We've also repainted the valve covers, cleaned up the timing cover, repainted the oil pan, so there's a lot of things. This also got repainted. A lot of this paint is gonna cure and burn, and for the first 10-15 minutes of running an engine after you've done a ton of work to it, you'll often get a little bit of smoke. Not to mention when we pull the valve covers off, any residual oil that's in there is gonna drip straight down on the exhaust system, so this is completely normal. Now we're gonna start getting coolant in this thing, getting it up to temp, running logs to make sure that the tune is working correctly. We're gonna send those back to Diablo Sport to make adjustments to the tune. This thing is running great though. The last thing we need to reinstall is the Mach 1 hood scoop. I've got hood brackets and all that stuff that came with the supercharger kit because we've moved some things, so let's get this thing fitted, and then Dream Build 10 will be finished.
All right, it's bright and early right now, and the show is about to start in just about maybe an hour. We're getting the Mach 1 all detailed up and the cover on it because we're gonna do a reveal at 9 a.m.
All right, so thank you to Elite Finish for having the event here. We're really excited. So what's under here, in case you don't know, is a very special car. This car belongs to Jeremy, who's right there, and he is the winner of throtl Dream Build 10. I'm backing up so we can keep the microphone here. Every couple months, we do a program, a contest, where our subscribers get to submit their car or truck to be transformed by the throtl team. And we selected Jeremy and his car, which is under this cover. So the team has done an amazing job. We've completely transformed it. When we got it, it was a little clapped out. It was a little rough around the edges, didn't run that good. The body was a little rough, interior is a little rough, but what's under here is amazing, and I cannot wait to share with you guys. So we're gonna do a sheet pull here. So we're gonna do a countdown from 5. I think you're gonna love it. You ready?
I'm excited, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man, that is beautiful. And the paint looks so good. Oh my gosh.
This car came in pretty much stock. Maybe we should show them the biggest thing first. Quinn, you want to pop the hood? I think that's what everyone wants to see.
No way! Supercharger.
Didn't have that, did it?
No, that is crazy.
This car sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Okay, so the first thing we did is obviously added a Vortex supercharger. You need some power, brother. On top of that, we've got a full Mishimoto cooling system. We've got a new McLeod racing clutch in there as well. It drives way better than the original clutch you had in there.
Yeah,
that
thing
was
was
brutal to drive. And we did a complete reseal on the engine. So new timing cover gaskets, oil pan, valve covers, everything's done. This thing does not leak a single drop of anything. Runs mint.
Headlights are so clean.
Brand new, baby.
No way. Oh, the steering wheel. That's
It's a new car inside now.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's have them fired up.
Ooh, I haven't seen this key in forever.
Feel the clutch now, man. It feels a lot better.
Move the seat however you need to.
Man, oh, this is beautiful. I love
The
this
steering wheel is nice, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he said, oh. Oh, man.
Sounds great.
Congratulations,
thank you so much.
man.
I appreciate it.
I hope you love it, and I hope you take it to a lot of events and share it with everybody back in your hometown, man.
I'm gonna probably take this thing to drag strip like first weekend I get
Oh,
her
look,
home,
dude,
so.
look.
I know, it's ready.
One thing we didn't tell you or show you is underneath the car, all QA1 suspension, a whole new K-member, everything, all new arms. Like, this thing is dialed. If you want to go drag racing, if you want to go circuit racing, it can do it all.
That is going to be it for today's episode. The Mustang turned out wild. The event was insane, and Jeremy loves his new build. Remember, submissions for Dream Build 11 are open right now, so if you want your car transformed on this channel with its own massive pile of parts, head over to Throttle, join VIP, and get your car submitted. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. See you later.